Hey, this is Tyson Fury, aka the Gypsy King. Just like to say, well done to Deontay Wilder in knocking out Dominic Brazil. I got that prediction quite correct. Anyone who wants to go toe to toe with Deontay Wilder will have the same fate as Dominic Brazil and the rest of his 40 other victims. Anthony Joshua, you'll get it as well. Same thing will happen to you, Mush. Dylan White, you'll get it as well. The Bronze Bomber is the most fearsome, most destructive puncher in the heavyweight division. But it's just a pity that he had to lose to the Gypsy King. Anyone who stands in front of Deontay Wilder, he will knock him out.
Well, some interesting comments there by the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury. Some of which I definitely agree with. Some of which not so much. And some of which definitely not. So firstly, the things that I do agree with Tyson on are anybody, no matter how good their chin is, who stands in front of Deontay Wilder is going to get knocked out. And Deontay Wilder is the most fearsome puncher in the heavyweight division. Those two parts I definitely agree with. Now him saying Anthony Joshua and Dillian White are going to get knocked out by Deontay Wilder, it's a possibility. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm not saying it's right either. If we look at Deontay Wilder's two most spectacular first round knockouts being Bermane Stiverne and Dominic Brazil, how many feints did those guys throw in a fight? How many punches did those guys throw in a fight? If you don't know the answer, the first one, Bermane Stiverne, 0 punches he threw. The other one, Dominic Brazil, he threw a couple of punches, not many. He tried throwing a couple of little jabs that weren't effective, they were pouring. And the only real punches he threw were 2 right hands when he was backed up in a corner after being staggered by a right hand. That's when Dominic Brazil is the most dangerous, when he's actually hurt. That's the time caution gets thrown to the wind and he throws some punches. The 2 punches he landed stopped Deontay Wilder in his tracks. He was going wild because he had Dominic hurt, set him back, a clinch, and then it was back to how the fight was already going anyway. So those 2 guys standing there waiting to take punches from Deontay Wilder, not a great game plan against the most fearsome puncher in the heavyweight division. Neither of them were showing any lateral movement whatsoever. Neither of them showed any feints whatsoever. So Deontay was basically just throwing a jab, setting up a right hand, and bang, delivery. Easy as. Didn't have to worry about anything coming back. Didn't have to guess at all because there was no feints being thrown. Hardly had to move because they weren't moving their feet laterally at all. Dominic Brazil missed a couple of punches or slipped a couple of punches from Deontay by trying to use reflexes and jump backwards. Not a good idea against a guy who can throw a right hand when he's on one side of the ring and land when you're nearly on the other side of the ring. Stupid game plan. Now I don't believe either Anthony Joshua or Dillian White would stand there going, give me your best shot, I'll take it, and I'll get you later on in the fight. It's the stupidest game plan ever against a big puncher like Deontay Wilder, and I don't think either of those guys are that stupid. I do think if Dillian White got in the ring against Deontay Wilder. Dillian White would probably lose that one, probably by a stoppage. I don't think it'd be as quick as Bermane Stiverne and Dominic Breazeale, because Dillian White does move his head a little bit. He does use a bit of lateral movement. He has very long arms. He has just as long a reach as Deontay Wilder. But I do think his footwork is a little bit too sloppy to stay away from Wilder's big punch all night. And we've seen in the past that Dillian White can be hurt. I mean, we've seen him on the canvas against Joseph Parker. Credit to him, he did get up in the very last seconds of the fight and managed to win on points. Anthony Joshua, we've seen him on the canvas against Vladimir Klitschko, and he managed to get up and stop Vladimir late in the fight. We've also seen Deontay Wilder on the canvas early in his career as well. Don't forget, Harold Sconey has put him down. But Deontay, credit to him, did get up and stop Harold Sconey reasonably quickly after that. So we know all of those guys can be hurt. But Anthony Joshua, he doesn't have great head movement. He doesn't have spectacular footwork. But I do think he's more complete than any other boxer in the heavyweight division at present. He's got a good inside game. His footwork's reasonable. He's starting to use a bit more footwork. He's a good judge of distance, which is going to be helpful if he gets in the ring against Deontay Wilder. Like I said, he can take a shot, and he's got reasonable power himself, and so is Dillian White. So I don't think it's a foregone conclusion if either of those guys get in the ring with Deontay Wilder whatsoever. However, I do think Anthony Joshua's chances of beating Deontay are quite a bit higher than Dillian White's. So those are a couple of things that I do somewhat disagree with when it comes to Tyson Fury. There is no doubt Tyson Fury has the best style to be able to beat Deontay Wilder. No doubt about it in my mind. But I think totally disregarding a couple of other guys at the top of the heavyweight division is a little bit disrespectful and a little bit naive, to be honest. I'd love to see any of those guys fight each other. Dillian White, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, any of those guys. I'd like to see them fight one another at some point soon. So, yeah, Tyson Fury saying that it's unfortunate that Deontay Wilder had to lose to him. Well, you know, on paper, which makes it a fact, is that it was a draw, unfortunately for Tyson. You know, 75% of the boxing community who participated in a Ring Magazine survey thought Deontay Wilder lost that fight. I was one of those people. But the fact is, it's on paper, it's a draw. So, one day, we may see a rematch. Hopefully we'll see it soon. I saw Tyson Fury talking the other day that he reckons it might be in December. Bob Arum was talking about it possibly February next year. I don't know, we'll see. You know, there's talk of a possibility of Anthony Joshua facing Deontay Wilder at the end of the year this year, maybe. But at the same time, Shirley Winkle has come out publicly and said that Deontay Wilder has a full plate and there's no time for a unification this year, which we know is horseshit, considering unification overrides anything else if it happens. So I think both teams at this stage are playing a bit of a waiting game to try and milk as much money out of the fight as possible. You know, there was talk from Deontay Wilder's team saying that they've tried everything and it's not their fault that the fight hasn't happened. We'd seen multiple offers from Anthony Joshua's team, nothing happened. So yeah, I think it's gonna turn out like another Mayweather-Pacquiao situation. Hopefully it's not gonna take 6 years. I mean, it's taken 3 already, so we're getting up there. And we've seen talk from Deontay Wilder, particularly after his Dominic Brazil fight, that just be patient, good things come to those who wait, and this sort of thing. So he's getting on the building the fight to get as much money out of it train, just as much as Anthony Joshua's team are at the moment now. So we'll hurry up and wait. But Tyson Fury's comments, let us know what you thought of his comments. Let us know what you agree with and disagree with in his statement, and we'll get some conversation going. So I hope you've enjoyed this little video. Don't forget to give me the thumbs up if you have. Subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you in the next one. Big Boys Boxing, we out. See you!